Jaffe, you are perfect for that. That was so entertaining and enlightening. And we got to hear from Stephen Walkom, who I wish more fans could hear from because he's such a pro. When you walked away from that experience, what was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway, besides that I'm really out of shape, Tony, is the fact that, look, I officiated when I was 21 to 25 years old in college hockey in the NCAA. But how hard it is and how there's so much to think about, so much to watch, and so much to decipher in split seconds. And you forget that. I always appreciate and respect the refs. And I think it's appropriate that we're doing this segment while you've got, Stewie sitting there and Hardy as well. I mean, you're talking about guys that, Stu was over 2,000 PIMs and Hartnell almost 1,900. So these guys understand the officiating. But it is a hard job, Tony, and it happens so fast. You think it's slow? It happens so fast.
Billy, wonderful job. Really enjoyed the shots of you testing down there. I'm sure on the vertical, I'm sure I could have squeezed a dime under your sneakers if I saw you go up there. Remarkable for you. Hey, the question I want to put to you, though, as I understand it, entry into this camp, you've got to have some kind of, elite level playing experience in your background. Having been around this camp and these aspiring refs, in what way does their playing experience, how does that factor? Is it an asset in their transition to referee? How does that work?
Well, that's what, Stu, that's what they think it is going to help, is because the officiating crew now, led by Walkom, is saying, wait a second, we can teach these guys some, if they can skate, we can teach them the rule book even more. We can get them involved in officiating in ways, but we can't teach them to have instinct. And that's what they think these guys that played Division I, Division III, Major A in Canada, University in Canada. Stu, that's what they think. They say, look, these guys have the innate kind of instinct about what it's like to battle in front of the net, battle along the walls, be involved in certain plays. We can teach them the rest of the X's and O's of officiating. So they think it's a huge get, having these guys play at a higher level. That is something that the last 3 to 5 years now that Stephen Walkom and the NHL officiating group has pushed an awful lot on.
Have you asked some of the veteran referees there why they make some of the worst calls at the worst times of the game?
Oh, no!
Did you learn that part of refereeing there?
I think that you're going to be an outstanding broadcaster if you so choose to go into it, as you have the hard-hitting questions already, Scotty. You know what? You understand. The funny thing is, I'll bet you if you went out there as an official, Scott,
yeah,
I'll bet you understand why some things are called and some things aren't, and why some things are missed. And yes, I'm defending him a little bit here, and I know that you're still probably sitting there saying, geez, this guy sounds like a jack. You know what?
I
right?
love it.
But it's true. You know what? Sometimes you say to yourself, wait a second, what did I just see there? I got to make a call, and next thing you know, the play's going to the other end, and you haven't called anything, and vice versa. Sometimes you call things too quickly because you think you saw something instead of knowing. And that is something that the head refs talk about. They have this instinct that they know what they saw. They don't think that they saw something, and they can really break it down quickly.
Hartsey has had everyone in stitches the whole day, production meeting, everything. He's a riot. Let me ask you about how this impacts the way you'll watch the game now going forward. You'll have a greater level of empathy for the guys holding the whistles. What specifically changes now as a fan?
Well, as a fan, I think you have to understand about how many decisions they have to make in a split second. And especially now when you've got everything going on in front of the net, there's more traffic than ever before. I've always respected the refs, Tony, given how, I did 4 or 5 years in the CCHA and, the NCAA Division I going back to my early 20s. So I always have a soft spot for them. But even more so now, I know how good a shape they're in physically, and they have to be. That to me is that's a non-starter. If you're not in shape, then you don't deserve to be an official at the best league in the world. But the respect comes down to how fast these guys are now and how many decisions they've got to make based on the speed of the game and the size of the game. At one point, Stu was, an absolute monster on the ice size-wise. Now you're talking goalies are Stu's size. So you got defensemen and goalie. Everybody's Stu's size out there right now. Hartnell's small. I'm tiny. I'm 6'1". I won't say my weight right now, but, 6'1". 215 when I played a bit. These guys, that's average right now. They're monsters out there.
And you're an Emmy winner, and we see it in the frame, and you deserve it because you're outstanding at your job. Billy Jaffe, thanks for joining us.
If I had a jersey and a whistle, I would give Brimson and Hartnell misconduct right now. I would give it to them.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, guys.